Okay.
Because after 10th standard, reality of life hits. You get to see things.
For some.
Absolutely, for some, but for me, because I was coming from a very, very middle class background. My father was Pandit and he used to do a part time job as well.
Okay.
So he was trying everything that he could to keep the family happy.
So, sorry to cut you. When you had this condition, and obviously you on your level have faced challenges, and what like how did your parents react or support you or try to get you out of this, or were they of any help, or you were just bullied right left
Absolutely.
center?
See, they any parent wouldn't want their child to go through it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I remember an incident from my school when my father, one day, some students, we were in 9th standard and people were bullying me and I was very upset. That was the only time when I complained to my father, and my father he was extremely angry that how could this happen. And all of his life he has tried to help me. By the way, we visited a lot of hospitals. They told that it will not help you, to an extent that I personally also got an operation done to try it from my own side. Even that failed.
Okay.
And what they told me is, hey, you have got this. Maybe there was some reason, something that you did bad in your past lifetimes, because of which you got it because you were young. But now that you have received it, can you embrace it? And I used to always doubt myself on this, by the way. Okay, until the 10th standard, because 10th standard, people started going out. I
Right.
started getting to know my financial condition. People started going out. I started getting to know the access to other people and information also. So that is when I turned very serious. I realized that there's nobody who can take charge of your life except you. You can crib and cry about it, or you can take charge and be happy. That's when I was made a head boy of the school. Now that in itself was a leadership thing for me.
So
And I
being
loved
a
doing that.
head boy is like
Absolutely
showing
right.
a
You
middle
were-
finger to people is like I don't
Yes, so
give a damn. Yeah.
I mean the school population was anywhere around 500 students, and if you're made a head boy, then you start changing something.
Right.
And I was becoming very serious about stuff. I was contributing. I was becoming kinder, because I realized that if I be
A rebel.
rebel, it is only gonna fire back to me. उसके पास तो मेरे पास पैसे भी नहीं थे to be able to manage all of that. So I started turning very kind, and I realized that education is gonna be my power, but not the education that is only in books.
Right.
So since 10th standard, I started actually using internet as my school. By the way, I have not gone through PG. I have only completed my graduation, but because I've gone through so much of learning through internet, I've become what I've become. I've adopted, I've learned so many concepts from the internet, and they've worked really well for me. I mean, in 10th standard, I used to watch all the motivational speakers, by the way. In 12th standard, I left it, because that was utter motivation for me.
Too much
And
motivation
absolutely.
also
I don't believe in motivation, okay? I think motivation is a myth.
okay.
Inspiration is the real key. And you can choose to take inspiration from people.
What's, if I could ask you, what's your differentiation factor between motivation and inspiration?
I think, see, I have heard this, I've learned this from my mentor, due credits to him. He says motivation is something that you can't build in people. Because in our attitude, we have an element called as motive. Ki, agar yaar, if I don't have a motive to help, no, whatever I'm trying to do will seem very transactional. Okay, so motive is to be able to support in growing people. When that motive is there, nobody has to tell me to find ways to help you.
Right.
Right? That is motivation. But if people lack motive, they cannot be motivated, and you can't get motive in people. That is unreal, not possible.
Right.
If you don't like to help people grow or see them happy, you try your best. You'll never be able to, think of new concepts, new ideas, new designs. If you don't have that motive, core motive that I want to represent businesses differently in the eyes of the customer. If you don't have that motive, no matter what you try, you'll not be able to be a good marketer. So motive is that element which helps you do something. So motivation is you building motive in somebody. I don't think it is possible. Very hard. inspiration is when somebody gains some understanding from your story and then tries to relate it to his own self and do things. By the way, that inspiration is the element of energy in you. Because you saw they can do it, I can also do it. Motivation is you can do it, you feel that it is right. No, I don't think that works, man.
So inspiration is basically you watch and learn.
Absolutely. You see what they did as actions. You continue doing it. And you don't just blindly follow it. You customize it to your own record.
Right. That's also a part of
absolutely
important part, I think.
So inspiration is what leads you to take action.
Nice. Any instance that you have from your childhood or from your, or say post 10 standard or something, that you remember is like a fond memory in your head? It was like an achievement that you did, or against your condition you did something which, you know, you felt great about it, and that, you know, got you to take another big step ahead. Any
Absolutely.
instance
So
like
I think I was always interested in sports, and because people say visual focus is what's required, I was representing my college in my university games. I used to play basketball. I was happy about it. I felt, oh wow, I'm able to do that for my college. I always had that aspiration of joining army as well for some reason, because of my childhood and my native. People think of joining army, but I wasn't able to do it. I sat for a NCC parade also, but I wasn't able to get into it because they have some criterias which has visual focus. I wasn't able to do it. I was disheartened at times, but this is where I realized, okay, what I don't have is okay, what I don't have, but what I have, which is knowledge, ability to speak, can I focus on that? That is where I started taking things very serious, and I loved speaking, by the way. Communicating and helping people mend their minds is one of my core interests that I've realized through time. So after 10th standard, what I started doing was I started speaking at events. There used to be a lot of intercollegiate events. I used to go, and I've got multiple trophies from there, and that's where my whole element of speaking, thinking critically, helping people and not judging them has been built. And that seems like an achievement. I think so in my college I got a scholarship from my principal sir, but apart from the scholarship, every time we got a prize for the college in inter-college competitions, he would give us some cash back or some money. And towards the end of the year, which is after 3 years, I already made double the amount of money from the college through prizes than the actual fees.
Oh,
so
that's a lot.
This was a confidence building phase for me, because everybody was supporting. And by the way, after 10th standard, the bullying also reduced some, because I realized, I used to think people became mature, and I realized the moment I started seeing myself different, people started seeing me differently. The moment I told that I am not unfit, I am not anything less because of what my condition is, and I am what I am taking full responsibility, and I'll enjoy what I do. Everybody started seeing me differently. I am respected.
Right.
Everybody started appreciating me. Everybody started coming to me.
So this is like a very fun observation. I'll give you one take of it. So when I met you, or I happened to speak to you online, and then meet you in person a couple of times today as well. I knew you had a squint eye, but I would say if it was some other person, it's a natural thing that my thoughts will go towards it. कि अरे squint eye है, कैसा है, क्या है. But the way you conduct yourself, that didn't let me think for a bit also. That's when you gave me your story that okay, ये हुआ था बचपन में हुआ था. Then I started paying more attention. Oh, till then the way you conducted yourself, the confidence that you've built at the age of 25, I didn't even know you were 25, but at the age of 25, coming across as so warm and inviting, and not keeping your weaknesses on the forefront and keeping your strengths on the forefront is like a big impression a person can have on your mind.
Absolutely.
So I don't think, see, हमारे लिए भी I'm sure you must have faced a lot of challenge. I cannot even relate to it because at some point of time I might have also bullied someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We don't realize that, right?
We don't realize that. I've also been bullied, but bullied in the sense, एक होता है कॉन्फिडेंस की कमी की वजह से बुली होना, दूसरा होता है कि किसी का फिजिकल एस्पेक्ट कुछ हो और उसके वजह से हम बुली करते हैं. तो हमको नहीं समझता है कि वो कितना इनसेंसिटिव है वाइल वी आर एट स्कूल. किसी को भी मोटा बोल दिया, जाड़ा बोल दिया, कालिया बोल दिया, ठीक है, तो ये हम तब नहीं सोचते कि यार हाँ बोल दिया ना, है वो मोटा तो बोलूँगा मोटा.
Exactly.
बट व्हेन वी थिंक ऑफ इट लेटर इन लाइफ वी आर लाइक ओ शिट, मतलब कितना इनसेंसिटिव हो सकता है. हाँ, सम डैमेज, एंड वी डोंट रियलाइज दैट वी ऑल्सो रिसीव्ड डैमेज इन सम वे और दी अदर.
Absolutely.
और वो बाद में स्ट्राइक होता है, अरे शिट, मतलब मैं वो टाइम पे अगर ऐसे रिएक्ट करता तो शायद मेरे सामने बोल नहीं पाते आज. तो आई हैव बीन coming to that, I've been bullied in school. There were some guys in school who were like, you know, थोड़ा सीनियर टाइप के थे. सीनियर टाइप मतलब फेल वेल हो के आए, ये वो ऐसे ऐसे. और तब तो फन एंड गेम्स था उनके लिए भी, हमारे लिए भी. आई डोंट ब्लेम देम. बट वो था कि वो हम जैसे, मैं छोटा था तब, स्कूल में इतना हाइट नहीं था, छोटा था, तो हम जैसे, और कॉन्फिडेंस तो बिल्कुल नहीं, लड़कियों से बात होगी नहीं, वो लोग कूल बंदे. तो वी ऑलरेडी इन आवर हेड वी ऑलरेडी सॉ देम एज ओ कूल है ये लोग. तो वो लोग हमको धोते थे, मतलब मज़े के लिए पीट दिया, क्योंकि उनको पता है कि ये वापस घूम के तो देगा नहीं, क्योंकि हमारे दिमाग में वो ऑलरेडी ऊपर है. तो पर आज मैं अगर वो उस चीज़ को रिकलेक्ट करके सोचता लाइक यार घूम के एक दे दिया होता ना, तो बट वो मैं आज सोच रहा हूँ ना, तब के तेजन को नहीं स्ट्राइक हुआ कि भाई घूम के दे भी सकता हूँ मैं. तो that's something which I think every other kid will.
I'll tell you, it's not just kid. It's in any relationship, any dynamic. That you want. So there are two elements. Okay. How do you see yourself as, and how do you see them? It could be they, it could be the other person. It is in relationships, employee owner.
Right.
I've realized that people sometimes put other person on pedestal and get themselves into a pit. So जब वो dynamic आ गया ना, the moment you see yourself small, what happens? You will face that lash because you play it small in your head. यार मैं ये नहीं बोल सकता, ये नहीं कर सकता. Maybe the other person may not feel bad. I've seen so many employees do this. Okay, they think अगर कुछ बोल दिया तो the employer will feel bad. I'm saying if you are thinking right, if your intent is right, if you're not trying to blame them, and if you're trying to give new ideas, why will he feel offended? By the way, it is also vice versa. At times, business owners also get dominated by employees.
Right.
And they don't say because they don't have visibility. I'm saying if you understand, say it. Why are you putting yourself into a pit? So any relationship that you see has a dynamic of power. Somebody is putting themselves into a pit and somebody into a pedestal. So if you want to improve your relationship, look at how you see themselves as and how do you see yourself in that relationship. And I think that would help you correct the dynamic.
True, very true. Yeah. Coming back, then we were at your college days.
Yes.
And then how did things go ahead?
By the way, so through the college days, all I was doing is doing events. Okay, I never bunked my college for the first 2 years. In the third year is when I actually bunked my first ever day in college for a movie.
Okay.
Till that day, because मेरे को तो focus करना था, serious था मैं. Because I wanted to build something for my own self. So during the college days, we also did some setup. जैसे वो college में tent लगा के store बनाते हैं ना. So we did that without a fest. People do it in fest. We started as a dab shakes करके. So we were 3 friends who were Deepan, Abhay and Bhargav. And we started dab shakes. We ran there for 5 days. We were thinking, okay, what can we do?
What were you doing?
So we were making shakes, milkshakes.
Okay.
So there was one friend who was very interested in all of those things.
Business बनाना कुछ.
So
जैसे हम सोचते हैं ना कि अरे यार बड़ा पाव के धंधे में कितना पैसा होगा.
Exactly. So we were thinking like that only through my college days. So that happened, and Deepan was my close friend. So he used to always be fascinated by currency notes. So we even started doing that. We used to get them from eBay and sell it here.
Oh.
So we used to do that as well, but both of them didn't work well. We couldn't scale it.
But ये कॉलेज वगैरह में परमिशन मिल गया था ये सब करने का?
So we do permission because principal sir was supporting me, no? So I was constantly
good
talking
books.
to him that अरे यार entrepreneurship के लिए कर रहे हैं, we are trying to experiment, we are trying to learn. We made money out of it, by the way. We were profitable. So we were experimenting things. We were trying to learn more about entrepreneurship. So that's where it all started. उसके अलावा during the whole college days also, I was helping a lot of people. So एक problem क्या था that I saw was some people were there who were really talented in my own college days, who were my peers. लेकिन वो सिर्फ आर्ट्स में पार्ट ले रहे हैं. जैसे किसी को डांस आता है तो वो डांस में जा रहा है, लेकिन प्रोफेशनल में कोई नहीं जा रहा. And I know for a matter of fact that after 3 years they're gonna join a company and they'll have to be professionally fit. So what I started doing, I started pushing people. Okay, so I was getting them ready to answer in group debates, group discussions, interviews. I was supporting
while
them.
You were in college, you were helping
Yes.
your
Peers.
Okay.
So I used to do that for juniors also. So during this whole time, I did this of sitting with students, helping them also. So I was learning to transform their mindset from there.
And did you get any backlash for this anytime?
I will tell you, in one of the events that I was there. So I think the person that was there is still guilty of it. What happened? We were sitting in a stress interview at a college in Warangal. Okay, it's a location in Telangana, and there's a final stress interview for a competition called as Best Manager. Okay. Now what happened? In that competition, her turn is before me, and I created a resume for myself and I gave her the template.
So she used the same. She used the same template.
She used the same template. Now because she is before me, and
she
because I'm coming
advantage.
after that, that interviewer told, "How much did you buy this resume for?"
Okay.
And I was like, "That is mine. I prepared it originally, but I can't tell it because the other person's goodwill is there." And I learned a very important lesson. You can't help people. You should help people, but you should know when to help people. Right? So that was the backlash. Other than that, by the way, I sat in the third years. I sat for an interview of Deloitte, and the interview का सबसे पहला round is group discussion. And what is happening in the group discussion is everybody else is selected except me.
Why?
Because I didn't fit in their frame. So people were asking, what will AI do? And I was telling, AI will never be able to take over humans, because the creativity that humans have, if they turn creative, then AI will never be able to take over. They removed me because I turned into creative.
So coming back to like an instance I'd give you, मेरा पहला interview, life का पहला interview, and मैं भी sort of confident था college में. I did my BMS, तो मेरे को इंटरेस्ट भी था उस सारी चीज़ों में, मार्केटिंग में और ये वो. फाइनेंस नहीं था, 0, मैथ्स 0, एंड आई वॉज वेरी ऑनेस्ट अबाउट इट, विच वॉज लाइक अ बिग ड्रॉबैक. आई टेल यू वाई. कॉलेज कैंपस प्लेसमेंट था, एक कंपनी आई, हम इट वॉज लाइक आई थिंक एऑन हैबिट या ऐसा कोई बड़ी कंपनी थी, एंड हम लोग मतलब पूरा क्लास 60-70 लोग का एक क्लास, वैसे 3-4 क्लास एक साथ बैठ गए वो इंटरव्यू के लिए. और वो स्टार्ट हुआ एप्टीट्यूड से, फिर जीडी से, फिर ऐसा कर करके मैंने सारे राउंड्स कर लिए. लास्ट राउंड में बचे थे एक 15 लोग, समझ लो. लाइक 15 में आ गए, अब तो क्या ही है, एक पर्सनल इंटरव्यू है, आई क्रैक इट. मेरा उतना कॉन्फिडेंस था. एंड एवरीवन वाज लाइक हाँ सही गया इंटरव्यू, जो भी जाके आ रहा था बाहर, लाइक सही गया इंटरव्यू, ये वो. आई वाज लाइक ओके ठीक है. आई वेंट इन, दे आस्क्ड मी अ फ्यू क्वेश्चंस. सिंस फ्रेशर है तो प्रोफेशनली ऐसा कुछ पूछते नहीं, वो बस पूछते तुम क्या करते हो, इंटरेस्ट क्या है क्या नहीं. एंड मैं बहुत ऑनेस्टली मैंने ऐसा बोल दिया कि मेरा मैथ उतना अच्छा नहीं है. ठीक है, बिकॉज आई फेल्ट कि ऑनेस्ट होने से मिल सकता है कुछ ऐसा. ठीक है, आई डिडंट नो टू मेक अप थिंग्स और एनीथिंग. एंड द नेक्स्ट थिंग द इंटरव्यू सेज, बट वी आर अ कंपनी दैट कैलकुलेट्स सैलरीज. एंड आई वाज लाइक
तो गलत जगह पे सच बोल
फिर भी
दिया।
मैं उम्मीद बोला, मतलब चल एक क्वेश्चन का मैंने फकअप कर दिया है, लेकिन मैं बाकी क्वेश्चंस तो तोड़ के आया हूँ. मैं आया बैठा, उस 15 में से एक ही बंदा रिजेक्ट हुआ और वो मैं हूँ. एंड बुरा इस चीज़ का नहीं था कि मैं रिजेक्ट हुआ, मतलब 15 में से मैं अकेला रिजेक्ट हुआ हूँ. एंड एवरी वन इज कमिंग एंड कंसोलिंग मी, नहीं भाई ठीक है हो जाएगा. एंड दैट वॉज द वर्स्ट पार्ट. आई डोंट वॉन्ट टू बी कंसोल्ड कि ठीक है. देन एक दोस्त ने पूछा मेरे को, तूने क्या किया ऐसा जो तेरे को ही रिजेक्ट किया. लाइक मैंने ऐसा ऐसा बोला, तो लाइक ओ शिट. तो आई लर्न अ लेसन दैट डे कि भाई ऐसा फुल ऑनेस्टी में तुम जाके सब बड़बड़ करके आओगे तो नहीं होने वाला है. देन द सेकेंड इंटरव्यू वी वेंट टू थायरोकेयर एंड वहाँ पे तो आई वॉज लाइक आई विल गेट अ जॉब. इधर तो मैं कुछ नहीं करने वाला. जबकि इट वॉज अ फेयर चांस क्योंकि वहाँ पे मार्केटिंग रोल था.
ओके.
तो वो स्टैंडर्ड भाई जो मैनेजर ने बोला ये ले पेनर बेच के दिखा ये वो, तो ठीक है यार ये सब तो बहुत ये है. तो उधर ये हुआ था कि 2 रोल्स थे, बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट और दूसरा था मार्केटिंग, इनबाउंड कोर मार्केटिंग. एंड मैंने देखा बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट में, जब हमने डिपार्टमेंट्स देखा तो बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट का 150 लोगों का डिपार्टमेंट है. और मैंने बोला भाई इसमें क्या ही, और ऐसा क्लटर्ड है. और मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट देखा तो एक मैनेजर बैठा है, रो में 4 लोग बैठा है. लाइक ये लाइफ चाहिए मुझे, वो बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट का लाइफ नहीं चाहिए. तो जो मैनेजर था वो भी, जिसने इंटरव्यू लिया था, उसने मेरे को पूछा कि क्या है कैसे हो. तो ही वॉज रियली इम्प्रेस्ड बाय द वे आई स्पोक, विच आई रियलाइज्ड लेटर व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड वर्किंग विथ हिम, क्योंकि वो भी फुल बड़बड़ था.
ओके.
हाँ. एंड ही ऑलवेज लाइक पीपल हु आर वेल स्पोकन, वेल ऐसा बात करने, खुद को अच्छे से कंडक्ट करते हैं. तो वो था. तो दैट फेयर्ड वेल. और बाकी सब लोग उस दिन बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट पे रिक्रूट हुए. मैं अकेले मेरे ऑफर लेटर पे मार्केटिंग एग्जीक्यूटिव लिखा है. तो आई वाज लाइक यस दिस इज़ व्हाट आई वांटेड, दिस इज़ व्हाट आई गॉट. और उस दिन मैं खुश था. मैं फिर वो वाला गम मैंने भुला दिया कि भाई 15 में से एक रिजेक्ट हुआ था. तो आई वॉज वेरी हैप्पी. तो ये स्टोरीज आई थिंक बहुत लोगों के साथ होता है. रिजेक्शंस इज समथिंग दैट यू लर्न फ्रॉम. एंड मतलब अभी जो इंटरव्यूज होते हैं वो फेयरली बहुत लीनियंट होते हैं मेरे हिसाब से. मैंने देखे हैं लोगों के इंटरव्यूज़ और मतलब उनके एक्सपीरियंसेस जाने हैं. बट फेयरली लीनियंट है, लोगों को अपना काम निकालना है ये. बट 5-6 years back then they were very serious about employing someone.
Yes, I think abhi to employee landscape has also become very seamless. A lot of trainings has been provided, but I think MSMEs maybe are still facing challenge. To be honest, I personally see business owners asking the same question, sell me the pen. It's a jadugar question.
And I'm like
भाई जादू करके दिखा मेरे को.
तो आई एम लाइक ये ठीक है सवाल पूछो, बट ऐसा कुछ चैलेंजिंग होना चाहिए कि भाई आदमी सोचने पे मजबूर हो जाए कि कैसे करूं. दिस आई रियलाइज नाउ व्हेन आई एम एन एम्प्लॉयर एंड व्हेन आई हायर पीपल, आई जस्ट लुक एट कि नहीं यार मुझे वो बुक्स का और तुम्हारा नॉलेज नहीं चाहिए. मुझे देखना है कि तुम इंसान कैसे हो. तुम्हें ट्रेन भी मैं कर लूँगा, बट मुझे देखना है कि आर यू विलिंग टू डू समथिंग और नॉट. इवन इफ यू आर नॉट दैट स्किल्ड इट्स फाइन.
एब्सोल्युटली.
मतलब ठीक है बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट है उस जॉब के लिए ये स्किल होना है, बट देन मोर देन दैट इट्स योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग.
People say no, hire for the attitude, train for the skill.
Right.
So finding the right attitude people, I
right,
that's there. And if there are any employees watching this, I think I've realized this also. People who are employees end up forgetting that at the end of the day there is some deliverable for the business owners to also deliver.
Right.
If you think why is he questioning me, why is he doing it, by the way वहाँ पे मेरे को पता है business owners don't know the right way to question. That's a very different story. But yeah, at the end of the day I see that when people perform कि यार मेरे को तो इतना ही मिल रहा है, मैं इतना ही perform करता हूँ, they're actually killing their future. Because it's the phases in which you give your 100% that decides what your financial career gonna be. If you try to hold yourself, perform कि यार इतने ही पैसे मिल रहे इतना ही काम करूँगा, then you're probably saying that इतना ही काम करूँगा, इतना ही काम करता रहूँगा and I will never see a financial growth. I was never that. So when I told you that I was never a victim after that time, I chose this. I was like, I'll give my 100%. Whatever, जो भी आता है मेरे को सब कुछ. I was
Right.
supporting my employer really well, and that's how I was
No,
able to get through.
that's one funda. Whoever, obviously, through the course, I have learned the art of employment. It's an art to employ people. It's no longer like a job.
Yeah.
No wonder these HR agencies charge a lot.
Yes.
Because hiring on your own is a massive task. When I hire someone, I make sure मैं उनको बोलता भाई, I don't want government employees. I don't think it's the right term also, but वो जो impression movies में और इससे बनाया गया है कि गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय आता है, अपना 10 से 7 काम करता है या 10 से 9 से 5 काम करता है और घर चले जाता है. उसको इससे फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता कंपनी कितनी प्रॉफिट बनाती है, उसको इससे फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता कि आज बॉस क्या बोल रहा था क्या नहीं, मुझे इतना काम दिया गया है मैं करूँगा और चले जाऊँगा. तो आई ऑलवेज से कि आई डोंट वांट गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉयज़. इफ़ यू आर कमिंग हियर, फर्स्ट आई वांट योर इनपुट. You might be a fresher, you might be someone who's learning,
Wow.
but you know something which I don't know.
Absolutely.
So you need to tell me what I need to do and I'll tell you what you need to do.
I absolutely
It has to be a to and fro. तो मेरा वो ideology, whenever I look to hire, I जैसे बोला attitude is the right word to say. क्योंकि I've come across, when I'm hiring, I come across kids who are say 17, 18, 19, 20. My average age that I've hired is below 25 always, because I feel they come up with a perspective like none another.
Absolutely.
तो जब भी कोई आता है तो पहला चीज़ उनका एटीट्यूड ही होता है कि वो कुछ लोग बोलते हैं सर आई हैव इंटर्नड विद सो मेनी कंपनीज एंड दे ऑलरेडी पेड मी सो मच, तो हाउ कैन यू ऑफर मी दिस मच सैलरी. तो मैं ये सोचता हूँ कि भाई तू लर्निंग फेज में ही ये सोच रहा है कि मैं आगे निकल चुका हूँ ऑलरेडी ये सब से, तो फिर आगे कैसे जमेगा. आई एम नॉट सेइंग यू आर रॉन्ग, आई एम जस्ट सेइंग कि एटीट्यूड क्या है ये. यू विल गेट योर वैल्यूज वर्थ वंस आई नो वॉट यू आर गुड एट.
एब्सोल्युटली.
आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि आई एम गोइंग टू रिस्ट्रिक्ट योर ग्रोथ, और वो वाला ज़माना तो है नहीं कि भाई तू साल भर यही मरेगा, ज़िंदगी भर मेरे लिए काम करेगा. नहीं. Even today, when an employee steps in, I say कि भाई तू जब इस जगह से निकलेगा ना, तो मेरे को चाहिए कि लोग पूछे तेरे को कहाँ सीखा तूने ये. And it's not about whether it's a designer, it's not about skill. Whether it's a marketer, it's not about how good a salesperson you are. It's the values that you take. कि भाई किससे मेरे को कैसे कनेक्ट करना है, किससे कैसे बात करना है, ये डिज़ाइन का पर्सपेक्टिव मुझे कैसे समझना है. मैं खुद डिज़ाइनर नहीं हूँ, बट बीइंग इन द इंडस्ट्री फॉर सो लॉन्ग, आई नो वॉट द स्टैंडर्ड इज़ फॉर द इंडस्ट्री दैट इट लुक्स अप टू.
गॉट इट.
तो वो डिज़ाइनर भी कभी कभी क्वेश्चन करता होगा, मेरा डिज़ाइनर भी, कि ये साला आता है मेरे बाजू में बैठता है, मुझे बताता है क्या है, खुद को तो कुछ आता नहीं है.
Possible, no? This happens.
और ये था, इवन द यंगर सेल्फ ऑफ मी ऑलवेज शॉट किया, अरे यार ये क्या ही काम है, इन लोग बैठते हैं मैनेजर लोग और पूछते हैं रिपोर्ट लाओ, और इनका सैलरी हमसे 10 गुना ज़्यादा है, क्यों है. तो ये आई फील ये भी एक रिवर्स है कि एक तो एम्प्लॉय नहीं सोचता है कि कितना कमा रहा है क्या नहीं, और एम्प्लॉय सोचता है यार ये तो इतना बना रहा है फिर भी मुझे इतना क्यों दे रहा है.
Absolutely.
So I feel that is also a challenge which I've faced, have overcome as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. I've understood कि hiring the right people, having the right people by you is always necessary.
Absolutely. I think a team makes or breaks the business.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I had these instances twice, I think, where I had to dissolve my entire team.
Oh wow.
And then build a new team. And it's a lovely process. इट्स अ पहले लगा था यार गया मेरा बिजनेस ख़त्म हो चुका है. द एम्प्लॉयज़ आई ट्रेंड फॉर ईयर्स आर नो लॉन्गर विथ मी सडनली इन अ डे. लाइक अभी क्या करूँ, ये नए बंदे के ऊपर कितना टाइम जाएगा.
कॉमन चैलेंज.
तो बट देन आई लर्न कि यार ये तो लवली प्रोसेस है, इसमें लगता है कि लॉस है बहुत है, बट वो स्ट्रगल में हम भी कुछ तो सीख ही जाते हैं कि यार ऐसे हायर करना चाहिए, ऐसा बंदा होना चाहिए, या ठीक है हमने उसको इतना नॉलेज दिया तो वो कैसे हमारे साथ हमारे लिए यूज़ करेगा वो चीज़.
एब्सोल्युटली.